Brought to you by Penguin.
The Plague Year. America in the Time of COVID. By Lawrence Wright. Read for you by Eric Jason Martin. In memory of those no longer with us. Prologue. History has paid a call on Wuhan before. In 1966, Mao Zedong, the 72-year-old chairman of the Communist Party, visited the city. He already had the death of tens of millions of people on his hands. The forced industrialization campaign of the Great Leap Forward led to the greatest famine in human history. Mao inaugurated that catastrophe by swimming in the Yangtze, the largest river in China, at one of its widest points, in Wuhan. Now he worried that his grasp on power was weakening. There were rumors that he was in ill health or near death. He needed to prove them wrong. He had just announced the latest stage of his plan for China, the Cultural Revolution. He would swim the river again. A legend was concocted in the party press about how far and how quickly the old man swam that day. More than 9 miles in 65 minutes, according to the state newspaper, which would have been a world record. Video of the event shows him doing a leisurely side stroke, surrounded by bodyguards and thousands of enthusiastic supporters who plunged in after him. The swim was a turning point in Mao's chaotic rule, amplifying a personality cult among young people who now saw him as their champion. They became the Red Guards, the vanguard of the reign of terror that lasted until Mao's death 10 years later. Mao visited Wuhan again the following year, but this time he was greeted by insurrection. Demonstrators, some carrying iron bars, others with machine guns, surrounded Mao's villa, shouting slogans through loudspeakers and actually breaking into the compound. Mao was spirited away, but it was the most perilous moment in his nearly 2 decades of rule. Wuhan was purged. 184,000 citizens and soldiers were reported killed or injured in Hubei province. Present-day Wuhan is a city of 11 million people in the heartland of the country. Like Chicago, Wuhan is a major transportation center, a crossroads of railways and expressways. The Wuhan-Tianhe International Airport is a hub of the Chinese airline system, with direct flights to major cities all over the world. It is an intensely modern city, but like all of China, it sits atop a mountain of trauma. On December 26, 2019, at Hubei Provincial Hospital of Integrated Chinese and Western Medicine, Dr. Zhang Jixian examined an elderly couple complaining of fever and a cough, flu-like symptoms, but a CT scan showed a form of pneumonia the doctor hadn't seen before. She summoned the couple's son and found that he too was suffering from an unknown pneumonia. She observed, "It is unlikely that all 3 members of a family caught the same disease at the same time, unless it is an infectious disease." At about the same time, healthcare workers were falling ill with similar symptoms, indicating human-to-human transmissions of the new pathogen was taking place. That fact was not acknowledged by government officials until nearly a month later. Instead, authorities instructed the medical staff not to wear masks or gowns because they might give rise to panic. On December 30th, 2019, Ai Fen, the director of the emergency department of Wuhan Central Hospital, received a lab report of an atypical pneumonia. Like other doctors, I had noticed a stream of patients with unfamiliar pneumonias. A novel disease probably had been circulating in Hubei province since November or possibly mid-October. Some of the cases seemed to be connected to the Huanan seafood wholesale market not far from Dr. Ai's hospital. 10 of its 653 stalls offered exotic animals, including badgers, snakes, crocodiles, and pangolins, which were sold live and slaughtered in front of the customers. It was called a wet market because it was covered with scales and blood and water that splashed out of the fish tanks. Often animal cages were stacked on top of each other, so that a palm civet nursing a virus might pass it to a hedgehog in the
Sample complete. Ready to continue?